Hi, I'm Emily, and I'm the founder of Reconnected Life. Because rape isn't the end of our story, and we do deserve to live a full and connected life again. The other day, a friend called me because a friend of hers had called her because a friend of hers had told her that she'd been raped. And my friend's friend wanted to know how she could be, how could she help? How could she be a good friend? So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. I really appreciate it if you could share it really widely so that people can see it before they need to know it. That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. So you're probably thinking, duh, of course. I'd believe them. I'd be there for them. I'm their friend. I love them. I'd help them. Yes, definitely. But you'd be surprised how many people get that wrong, and not necessarily from a place of wanting to get it wrong. They want to get it right, but they go about it in the wrong way, and sometimes help isn't helpful. So that's what I'm going to share with you in this video. So yes, believe, and believe unquestionably. And unquestionably means don't ask questions. The number of friends who said to me, "Are you sure? Maybe you suggested it, you just can't remember. Maybe he thought you wanted it. You must have been mistaken. Are you sure?" Now, unsurprisingly, those people aren't in my friends group anymore, but there were more than a few of them who said that. Perhaps I just had to choose friends more wisely, but yeah, don't ask, "Are you sure?" Now, we don't want to be sure. I did not want to be sure. I did not want to have been raped. I wanted to believe that maybe it was just something that got a little out of hand. I knew it wasn't, but I didn't want to put the name to it. Those questions kind of introduce doubt into our minds. And rapists are very clever in how they already rape in contexts and situations where doubts can be easily placed in the victim's mind, or if it gets that far, into a court's mind. So don't add to doubt. And I know why people want to do that. It's not because it doesn't come from a place of malice. It comes from a place of wanting to not believe that this kind of thing happens, and that this kind of thing happens to someone you know, because that could put you in danger, could make you feel like you could be at risk as well, and you don't want to feel that. So I understand where that comes from, but it's not helpful, and this video is about how you can be helpful. And when I say, again, believe them unquestionably, unquestionably also means don't ask questions asking for detail. Don't ask, "How did you get home?" Don't ask, "Did this happen or that happen? Did you say no?" Don't ask for details. Just don't. And the reason you don't want to ask for details is that it's the way the human brain works, actually, is that when as humans we experience trauma, part of the job of the unconscious is to withhold that information from the conscious. The unconscious part of its job is to withhold any information that might be too much for the conscious mind to cope with. And so when you ask us for details, you're asking us to try to draw on something that we don't know consciously. And that can make us feel really quite incompetent. I remember thinking, how can something so bad have happened and I not remember it? It made me feel subhuman. I felt like a freak, like broken. And then the other aspect of bringing up details is that actually they can start to come from back from the surface of the unconscious and into the conscious, and we start to have more flashbacks and start to have more nightmares and start to remember details that we had been withholding from ourselves, and that's re-traumatizing. So don't ask questions. Don't ask, are you sure? And don't ask for details. Now, of course, if we want to share and we want to talk to you and to let it out, listen. Don't ask for, don't ask prying and probing extra information, as I said, but listen. Oh my God, listen. Listen with compassion. Listen to make the space safe. Listen so that we feel heard. And then also listen if we don't want to talk. Listen to the silence and just be there and be present for us, just to make us feel not alone. So to come over and cook dinner and to watch TV with us without any conversation if necessary. That's huge. Hold the space. And when I say hold the space, it's important to be aware that your friend may not want to be hugged. They might need to be hugged, in which case hug them. But be aware that physical touch may be too much. And don't take that personally. Also, don't take it personally when your friend starts to behave in different ways, may become very angry, may become erratic, forgetful, may become snappy, tearful, withdrawn, isolated. These are all traumatic responses. So don't think that it's because your friend doesn't like you anymore, or it's actually, it's just a traumatic response that they're going through. And be aware as well in the weeks, days, weeks, months, even years that follow, that your friend may develop coping mechanisms that are all just a way of, getting through the day. And some of these coping mechanisms may not seem to you to be very healthy. You may want to judge, you may want to ask your friend not to do those things, not to drink so much, not to take drugs, not to cut themselves, not to sleep around, not to over-exercise, overwork, overeat, not to misuse prescription drugs. The list goes on. Understand that actually those coping mechanisms are helping your friend stay alive at the moment. So again, be a supportive friend who holds the space for your friend to feel understood and loved and okay in your aura. And I also want to just touch on choices and decisions in the aftermath. So often friends will think that it's helpful to suggest going to the police, to suggest getting therapy and counselling, to go and get tested for STDs. Now, these are choices that your friend has that she could decide to make or not. They're her choices. She had her bodily autonomy withdrawn forcibly during the rape. Do not take her autonomy of choice away again. Give her room and space to make those choices and decisions for herself in her own time, knowing that you will be there supporting her every step of the way, whatever that choice is. And be aware as well that we don't always, and very rarely in fact, behave like victims. We don't behave like that cliche, that stereotype that you'd expect from TV or media. We can be the life and soul of the party. We can make jokes. I did quite a lot, make jokes about it or make jokes about other things. We can be fine or appear to be fine. A friend was telling me just the other day when I met up with her for dinner. I haven't seen her in a while. And she said, when you called me and told me, it was I've been raped, but don't worry, I'm fine. And the thing is, I probably did feel like I was fine. I probably felt that was true. Just to shrug it off, just to minimize it. So be aware that that might be your friend's reaction as well. And don't think that just because we tell you that we're fine, that we really are. There may be other things that we're not sharing. For us to have shared with you this truth about what's happened is a really, really big thing. Please don't underestimate how huge that is, that we've trusted you with this knowledge about what's happened to us. We expect to be judged by people. We probably have already been judged by some people. I had friends who told me I deserved it when I told them. They're not my friends anymore. Please do not underestimate the value that you, the lifeline that you are in receiving this news with compassion and support. Community is proven to be the most critical factor in recovery after trauma. So thank you so much for being open to being the community for your friend to recover within and to create that safe space for recovery. Thank you so much for watching. Please do share. Please do share really widely. And I am Emily from Reconnected Life. Thank you.